It's a clever little free kick from Armand Cazorla again. Sanchez dinks one in. Koscielny thinks he scored. Great reactions. You can see him moving towards his left. Has to jump back the other way. Brilliant stop from Shay Given.
Koscielny now back in his own box. Szczesny's watched that one well, and he's quite happy to take the hit without even a blink.
Did well again there, Szczesny. Nice and calm and confident, coming to claim. It was a poor ball in from Grealish.
The two goalkeepers have had good starts to their day.
Well, there's no doubt Arsenal have started a little bit more confident, which is understandable, the way they finished the season. Villa, of course, finishing the season a bit more poorly, need to grow into the game a little bit.
Monreal to Santi Cazorla. Bellerin. He is quick. So's Kieran Richardson, who was backing him well, but has now been left behind, and it's into the side of the goal. Lovely bit of determined work from the Spanish fullback.
He gets a bit of luck here, Guy. Good defending from Richardson, falls back to Bellerin, puts the ball across, and it's Ramsey in there. Can't quite put it on target. Got to ride this storm, Aston Villa. It's a good spell for Arsenal.
And Ramsey, the man who won the cup for the Gunners last year with the extra time winning goal against Hull City.
Well, he drifts in off that right-hand side and finds himself in those central areas quite a lot.
The ball has beaten Nzogbia. Arsenal's throw.
What Arsenal have actually done is taken only a little bit of sting out the Aston Villa crowd. Because for the first 5 minutes, we couldn't hear ourselves think.
It's been a start to the game that has matched the mood in the stands. Exciting, nail-biting. I think you saw by the looks on the faces of those two sets of supporters that it is Arsenal that have been on top.
Not worryingly so for Aston Villa. They've had a couple of half chances and that, and of course the header, but it's not completely dominant.
Hutton won the ball and was just caught late by Sanchez. His hand was offered by way of apology. Here's Cleverley. Manages to ride one challenge, that of Sanchez. And Nzogbia. It's Benteke to bring it down. He couldn't quite turn. It looked as though he might.
Every time that ball goes near Benteke in the box, you can see the Arsenal defenders worry. It's a good touch from him. He couldn't quite get the turn. Got to get him the ball more.
Bellerin. Not yet seen Jack Grealish in the game. A young man of whom so much is expected. And he's delivered quite a bit in recent weeks. I don't think, though, Danny, he's the sort of young player for whom this occasion will be too much for him.
Well, as I said earlier, his performance in the semi-final was superb. I think it's just a case of Arsenal having more of the ball at the moment.
Cleverley to Delph, who is everywhere for Villa. Run into trouble there, though, and Ozil's away with it, with support. Vlaar was unlucky, and it's over the top of the bar. Aaron Ramsey goes close again for the Gunners.
Well, he does, and we talk about him popping up in central areas. It's Delph who loses the ball in midfield, and Ozil breaks away. It's actually a poor ball, not cleared properly by Vlaar. So many times this season, we've seen Ramsey finish from there. It's a real let-off that for Aston Villa.
It's not quite all Arsenal, but it is advantage Arsenal. Cleverly. And Torpia miscontrolled. It was pinged into him with a bit of pace. Bellerin. Ramsey. Westwood to find Richardson. Here's Delph. Benteke. Westwood screaming for the ball in the left half of the pitch, and on it now. Grealish. Chesney out again very early, and Benteke was being flagged offside in any case. Great tackle that from Delph.
He's brilliant at that guy, he really is. He spots danger so well, and with his pace gets across. Villa have just got to be careful not to put the ball in from too far away. The further away from the 18-yard box you're putting crosses in, gives the keeper time to come out and catch them. Don't get too anxious.
What Delph's doing now, Danny, as well, is he's timing those challenges. Only 2 bookings this season. That from a player who was good for double figures in his early years in the Premier League.
Yeah, indeed. So fit and so athletic, always seems to be there at the right time.
Here's Mesut Ozil, poking one through for Walcott. And he skipped past Vlaar, but let the ball go away.
That time it was Cleverly. Little bit sloppy in possession, you've got to be careful in those areas.
Grealish was impeded there. Just starting to get onto the ball a little bit more. Tim Sherwood, as is his style, is kicking every ball down on the side of the field. Rather nervous looking Royal Highness. He's nailed his colours firmly to the mast, which is most unlike the president of the Football Association, but he's a fan.
At least he's honest, huh?
What a wonderful break with protocol. Walcott. Keeps it well under pressure from Westwood. Ozil. He's starting to have a game. Alexis Sanchez. And it was Hutton who spread himself in the way of the shot. Nakora. Grealish. Looks to me as though Arsenal are trying to raise the tempo here.
Well, they are, and it was great play from Mesut Ozil. Turn and ball into Sanchez, but they're just holding out at the moment, Aston Villa. Great block from Alan Hutton.
Ozil to Santi Cazorla. Monreal. Cazorla. Ozil. What a block that is from Richardson. Walcott this time the player thwarted. Free kick Arsenal. You just wonder how frustrated Arsenal are going to get in the face of this determined Villa defending.
Well, he should score. Theo Walcott should score. But let's give Kieran Richardson credit for an amazing block. Another great move by Arsenal, though. Cazorla and Ozil.
They're looking so dangerous. Here's Bellerin. Ramsey. Challenged by Vlaar. And it's that trio of magicians that are really causing the problems. Ozil, Sanchez, Cazorla. World stars all. Bellerin. Delph does his defensive duty.
Well, it's relentless at the moment, and you're right, it is those three, especially this little man, Cazorla. Everything starts with him. And then Ozil and Sanchez around the box with their little clever runs and clever passes. This is the block from Richardson. Brilliant defending, really is.
Bellerin. Richardson again in the way, a little less spectacularly. Santi Cazorla. Bellerin. Ozil's got it through, the flag is up against Walcott though. But they find gaps where none seem to be.
Again, it's clever play, he's gone a yard early, it's the right decision. It's very hard to plug so many holes when you've got that many quality players on the pitch. All good with their movement, all see pictures, see the runs.
That was Arsene Wenger's reaction to Kieran Richardson getting in the way of his team.
Well, he's probably starting to feel like if they keep playing this well and don't score, that they can't keep playing this well. It's the worry as a manager and as a player. Sometimes you feel like you've got to score during your best spell, because the other team will get their chance, will come into the game at some point.
Akore just had to be careful. The route back to Given was being monitored by Walcott. Richardson. Ran out of time. Coquelin. I don't think we've mentioned Francis Coquelin's name up to this point. Here's Ramsey. Ramsey on target, but it's easy for Given. I think Coquelin's relative anonymity is due to the fact that there hasn't been much defensive midfield work for him to do.
You're spot on, that's exactly why. Good covering there from Vlaar, just to get a touch on Ramsey's shot. We're not seeing enough of Nzogbia and Grealish. They need to come and find the ball. 62% their possession for Arsenal. Shows their dominance. 7 attempts, 3 on target. Aston Villa yet to have one.
Through to Walcott. I think he'd have been onside that time. But Akore was there in the nick of time. Grealish is drifting in field a little bit more to get involved. Delph's the man who's gone wide. Westwood. It's the longest spell of possession that Villa have enjoyed for some time.
It's important. Get some touches of the ball. Take a breather. Find your way into the game. Slow the game down a little bit. Stop Arsenal's momentum. Much better from Aston Villa.
Momentum on and off the field. There's a tremendous Arsenal noise around this place now. Here's Delph. Delph was guilty of holding back Alexis Sanchez. Free kick and maybe a little bit more.
He's a little bit unlucky there, Delph, because he hasn't had a shout, and that man Sanchez does not stop harassing, closing people down, running back.
The other side of the halfway line, and that would have been a yellow card.
You always get away with a bit more as captain, Guy. Those few moments in the dressing room with the referee before, just be a little bit nice.
There speaks a past master of the dark arts.
I got away with many, let me tell you.
We knew that. And here's Alexis Sanchez. Santi Cazorla. Up to Aaron Ramsey. Bellerin's there with him. Bellerin's ball in. Thumped away by Vlaar. A little uncertain, that touch from Grealish. And it's a free kick for Villa. The pressure is relieved. I think he spotted a handball here, has he?
Yeah. Just as it bounces up.
There. Takes all sorts, doesn't it?
I'm speechless.
He's a regular.
Similar to what you had on your last stag do, that, wasn't it?
Oh. It's come off Richardson, but it didn't go out. Ramsey thinks that should be handball against the Villa man. Westwood. Grealish. It's cleverly finding Delph. Not the best first touch from Delph. Second was good. Here comes Szczesny. Come what may. Cleverly. On the chase now. He's after Ramsey, who's got out of a tight spot really well.
It looks like he's made a decision, Szczesny. When that ball's coming in, I'm coming. He nearly got that one wrong.
I wonder if the mindset is that he'd rather take on Benteke further away from his goal line, as far away as he can.
It's brave. Don't mind that from a goalkeeper. Look, he's already on the go. Got away with that one.
Richardson will throw the ball back in for Villa. 32 minutes have whizzed by here, and yet we haven't seen a goal. Arsenal have come by far and away the closer of the two teams to scoring. Shea given with one outstanding save to keep out a Koscielny header. Mertesacker.
It wouldn't surprise me if Tim's thinking of a formation change, because they're so dominant in terms of possession at the moment, Arsenal, and chances, of course.
That's rash from Alan Hutton. His name will be taken now. Alexis Sanchez cops another one.
See, that's the problem when you're getting frustrated and you haven't got the ball, you make silly decisions. And now he's got to spend a large part of the game watching every step and every tackle. It's late.
It's a total misjudgment of where the ball was going to be.
Yeah.
His 11th caution of the season. Has been sent off against Arsenal in the past for 2 yellows. Here's Ramsey. Richardson in the way of another Arsenal corner.
They've actually had some good joy from set plays, Arsenal. It wasn't particularly good ball in, but not well defended.
Time for the Arsenal fans behind that goal to crank up the noise again. Ozil's delivery helped across. Given didn't quite get it, and he's got big Ron Vlaar to help him out. Given felt he was impeded.
Well, whether he was or he wasn't, Benteke's got done on the run again. He's got to be side on so he can see the runner. This time it's Mertesacker, just gets a yard on him.
He wants to be in action at the other end. Wasn't quite alive to that ball coming his way, though. Alexis Sanchez. Cut out by Hutton. And Zogby is on his way. Coquelin's in his way. And now Monreal too, and it's Coquelin who wins the ball for Arsenal. Ramsey lifting one for Walcott, but it will go all the way through to Given, who wasn't quite sure about overstepping the boundary. Grealish. Delph. Grealish roared on by the hordes in claret and blue. Nice little shimmy from Westwood. Richardson to Benteke, trying to find Grealish. And that'll be a free kick for Arsenal. It was Westwood in. And it looks as though it's a real problem for Santi Cazorla as he was caught by that challenge.
I think he's just a little bit winded. Better from Villa, much more patient. Falls on his back a little bit there, Cazorla. I think he's just winded. Got men in the box. Much more patient with the build-up. Started off down the right. Not the best header of the ball from Shay Given ever, but better to be safe. Yeah, started off down the right with Alan Hutton and ended up on the left-hand side, but much more patient, much better that from Aston Villa.
Flag up against Ozil.
Actually looks at the moment like Sanchez has gone through the middle and Walcott on the left. I'm not sure whether that's just temporary or Arsenal's made a switch. We'll see on that one.
Maybe run at Alan Hutton on a yellow card.
Possibly.
Doug Ellis, Aston Villa's former chairman, president, now aged 91. Wasn't that their last cup final success in 1957? There was no way he was going to miss this. There's a show of dissent from the Villa owner, Randy Lerner, who's attending his first game since the 3-0 defeat to Arsenal in September. Could be his final game as owner of the club. Coming from New York for this one. And he's not happy that Fabian Delph has been penalised for that one.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, Delph. He's so tenacious and so desperate to get the ball back for his team. He's got away with a couple now. One more and I think he'll go in the butt.
He did actually get a yellow card there, Danny. Surreptitiously given by John Moss.
So now he does have to be careful.
Here's Coquelin. Here's Sanchez. Here's Monreal. Monreal in, but it's too deep. Got a little bit of calm, and I think it's the first time in 38.5 minutes that we have had one.
Yeah, it does look like Theo is deliberately out there on the left, and I think you're spot on, Guy, that it will be to try and run at Hutton. He actually hasn't had enough of the ball, really, even though Arsenal have been dominant. We haven't seen Theo on the ball that much in those central areas.
Mind you, if you were playing fullback, what would you rather have? The pace of Walcott running at you, or the trickery and wizardry of Sanchez? It's a tough call anyway.
Well, I'd rather not be playing fullback in the first place, but I think Sanchez has more variation, can go both ways. Not sure Theo will want to go on his left foot and cross it, but we will see.
Mertesacker forced back to Wojciech Szczesny.
He does, of course, have Bakuna on the bench, who plays so well in the semi-final. Will feel unlucky not to be starting today.
It's Coquelin. Walcott, Hutton across. Here's Monreal. Good leap from Sanchez. Walcott!
Arsene Wenger take a bow because he made that decision to switch, and it was Sanchez header from a central area after the cross. Played to Monreal, yes, he's onside. Cross to the back post where Sanchez is. Walcott coming in off that left side. Superb volley on his weaker foot. Good strike from Theo Walcott. Calm, kept it down, hits the target. No more than they deserve.
There is a study in technique. Eyes on the ball, everything right about it. And on the balance of play, the scoreline's right too. Arsenal have been on top. Arsenal are in the lead. It is Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0.
It is deserved. They've made the better chances. They've been more dominant with the ball. I know we said he'd been a little, well, I said he'd been a little bit quiet before that, but we saw last week that in front of goal he's confident at the moment. It's his first. Well, he had that. Sorry, he had the one blocked on the line from Richardson earlier, but he made no mistake with this one.
And we've heard this song before. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Sometimes with your weaker foot guy, you do concentrate that little bit more on the technique rather than go off your natural ability. It's a good ball from Monreal. You can just see here, because it's on his weaker foot, he slows down and takes his time.
By the way, what a response is coming from Aston Villa supporters.
They've been superb.
That was the scene amongst the Arsenal contingent. Getting in each other's way, Bellerin and Koscielny. It's a Villa throw. When Villa were here in the semi-final against Liverpool, they were behind for only 6 minutes to Philippe Coutinho's opener. That was the only time they've been behind in an FA Cup game this season, until today. Coquelin. Just nicked by Delph, who's frustrated at seeing another decision go against him. Not half as much as Villa's fans are, judging by that row.
That was a little bit unlucky. I actually think the referee's done okay in this first half.
Here's Walcott popping up right side. Looking to get onto Ramsey's return. Dealt with by Richardson. Arsenal corner. Absolutely vital for Villa that they don't concede a second before the break.
Absolutely. Richardson a full stretch here trying to stop Walcott.
Ozil on the ball. Benteke with a chest away to Grealish. Bellerin. Will bounce away from Ozil. Tim Sherwood's been up and down. Arsene Wenger has barely got out of that seat today.
Well, he must be pleased. They've played with confidence, speed, energy.
They don't even know they've got seats. Coquelin. Sanchez came off Houghton, but came to Monreal. Richardson clear. Little tug on the shirt there from Richardson on Mesut Ozil. Arsenal fans saw it. Still, Ozil manages to work some room. Great ball in. Santi Cazorla couldn't turn and fire. But it is another Arsenal corner.
It's such clever.
And as we tick around into injury time, it really now is all Arsenal.
It's such clever play, guy, honestly. I mean, quality players, seeing the runs, moving off the ball.
2 minutes of additional time. First bit of a spat for referee John Moss to sort out. Benteke and Mertesacker involved. Ozil with a different sort of corner that time. A little less flight on it. Villa's throw.
Wouldn't surprise me if Tim's thinking about Gabby Agbonlahor, maybe putting him up there with Benteke. Play a bit more direct, use the pace and power of them, because we haven't seen enough of the big man.
He's doing a lot of thinking. Bellerin back to Szczesny. Walcott couldn't take it. Ozil. Monreal. Sanchez, but he showed too much of it to Westwood. And Zorbia, who's not really had a half at all.
No, he's not got into the game. It's been disappointing.
Bellerin. Ozil. Arsenal playing as though they don't want this half to end. They maybe could do with it now, with Villa threatening a break. It wasn't the best ball from Delph. It invited Koscielny to win it from Grealish.
Well, he didn't have many options, to be fair. He only had Benteke, so he played a risky ball.
And he's on the ball as the half comes to a close. It's Arsenal's half. Theo Walcott with the only goal as we moved into the 41st minute of the match. Hit it home quite beautifully, and really it's only what Arsenal have deserved after a dominant first 45 minutes. At the break, it is Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0.
Well, it's been a very one-sided FA Cup final so far. It took Arsenal quite a while to break through, though, didn't it? And it's one of those things that you start to think, you better score now, or it might be different in the second half.
I was just about to say that after 40 minutes, I'm thinking Arsenal have been absolutely brilliant, so dominant, but they haven't had that goal that they so badly needed. They got it. It's what they deserved. In reality, Gary, the cup final, it should be over with now. They should be 3 or 4 up and be winning this game comfortably. Aston Villa have to improve in the second half. I would perhaps look at young Grealish. He hasn't had the best game at all. I'd perhaps look at changing him and maybe Sinclair or Agbonlahor on. They've got to find themselves a way into the game because Arsenal, as I said, have been so dominant.
What's wrong with Villa, Dion? They've just not been at the races.
No, they seem to be okay in 2/3 of the pitch. In the final third of the pitch, they just seem to fall down.
They've hardly been in the final 2/3. Final third,
they're giving the ball away too easily, you know, and Arsenal are getting it and they're comfortable on the ball. Benteke's had 3 or 4 touches. Their best player, their biggest threat of goals. He's isolated. He's trying to bring it down. It's taking so long to get support to him. As Al said, if he could go with a 2, take the attention off Benteke a bit, get Agbonlahor up there with him, you've got a 2 to mark then.
Martin, we all know, don't we, when Arsenal are good, they're very difficult to play against. And so far today, they have been very good.
Today, I think it's more about Arsenal, really. I mean, Villa, yes, could get tighter to them. But the way that they're sweeping that ball around between them, Ramsey coming off the sideline, Theo Walcott stretching the defence, that little extra pace at the top of the pitch suddenly. They've just got too much for Aston Villa. It was just a matter of time. Villa have hung in there, though. They're not out of this cup final yet. It's important what Tim Sherwood does at half-time. If he can send the right message to his players, he might have to make an adjustment. I agree with the lads. Maybe Grealish is a bit too much for him. But they're certainly not out of it yet.
Yeah, no, long way to go yet. Well, it was a terrific goal when it came, wasn't it? A real wallop from Walcott.
Yeah, it was. It was a fantastic finish. It was great technique, front of the boots. But what I liked about him, Gary, is that he did what proper goal scorers do. He wasn't content with staying out. Watch the way he just follows the ball. Comes to him here, but he's not admiring it. He gets into the middle where all good strikers get to because they pick up the pieces, and that is a brilliant finish. Laces, front of the laces, head down.
Interesting through, Alan, is that at that stage you'd actually just swap positions to the wing.
It was a great call by Arsene. to put Sanchez down the middle, Walcott on the left. But as I said, he doesn't admire his pass. He wants to get into the box, and that's what centre forward should do. They should get into that box. If they don't get the first ball, make sure you get the second ball, pick up the scraps. But there's still a hell of a lot to do. It's a brilliant finish.
See that emotion there. Didn't play last year. He desperately wanted to play. Didn't know he was playing until pretty well this morning. Great finish. I was really pleased with it.
Terrific finish, terrific reaction. That means a lot scoring a cup final. I can tell you that. They could have been more goals, couldn't they? Koscielny, a couple of headers for a start.
Yeah, just didn't quite connect with them. He's just sort of glancing headers. He should do better with this one. That's a free header, 8 yards out. He's got to hit the target. It's a great cross. The box. He hasn't got to do anything at all apart from give that the eyebrows as we call it, and just hit the target.
Yes, it's a brilliant save, but he's got to score, hasn't he? I mean, Shea Givens actually going away to his left, manages to spring back there, but again, at this stage we're thinking, come on Arsenal, you can't have this many chances and not score.
Should Shea be catching that and holding it?
It would have been quite a good catch. Ramsey too, Martin, chance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he gets a really good opportunity. I think this fella is so difficult to pick up because he comes off the sideline and he's playing much more central today. Bellerin getting down this side, he shouldn't really be allowed in there. And when it comes in, he's not really favourite. It's decent defending from Okoro. We haven't been able to say that too often because he's been really stretched. But it's when he gets into this central position, no one picking him up. He just drifts in there. It's really quick feet. He just can't get it down. I think he should be scoring.
Good chance, Martin.
Yeah, it's a great chance, but it just bounces up in front of him, and I don't think he can just get enough over it. Look, just too high.
If you get a chance like that in a final, you've just got to hit the target. You really have. It's a bad miss for them.
Yeah, Dion. Prior to his goal, Theo had an opportunity that was probably better than the actual goal itself.
It was, and Theo's getting himself into some great positions, just staying on the shoulders, out of the eye line of defenders. You watch Theo there. He's not running all over the place. He's in the right position. Leaves it late. They get the ball down the side. And you can see, look, Theo just stands. Sometimes it's better to stand. You have to make runs all the time.
It's a wonderful block.
It's an amazing block. But if you watch Okoro here, he doesn't once look over his shoulder. He doesn't know where his defender is, his teammates, Vlaar. He's still not looked. He has to go. He's late getting there. He does well to get there, Gary, but you've got to know where your defenders are. You've got to keep tight with your other defender. That is a fantastic block. And he's done well. Richardson's done well. At left back, he's done really well.
He's had to, hasn't he?
Well, try as we might to find some chances for Aston Villa. They've just been non-existent in that first half. And there's a clear tactic from whether it's come from the goalkeeper or Arsene Wenger, is that any crosses that go towards Benteke, Szczesny's going to count.
Well, you've got to give Arsene Wenger credit for this, because he's looked at it and saw the threat of Benteke, obviously. And he said to his goalkeeper, look, if they do get in crossing positions, get your starting position to the goalkeeper and try and give your defenders a hand. Look at him walking up there, the goalkeeper. He's already made up his mind. He knows that if that ball comes in, he's going to come for it, and it's been a huge help to his two centre halves. I mean, these are only the 2 or 3 occasions where Villa have had the chance to put it in, and his mind's made up. Again, he gets caught on that one because he's determined, he's coming for it. It's a dangerous tactic. He's coming every time, but he's got away with it that time. But he's done well, helped his defenders.
Tim Sherwood, he's got to do something at half-time. He'd have been very pleased that half-time came when it did, because we often see things change, don't we, in the second 45 minutes. Will he do it now or will he wait?
If I were Tim, I'd make the change now. I'd make the change.
And what change would you?
I'd get Gabby on. And unfortunately for young Jack, I'm not going to say it's too much for him. It just hasn't gone well for him. You know, he's a very good player, great future. Today just hasn't gone well for him. I'd get Gabby on. Get Gabby on up front, get into a 4, stick to up top, give the Arsenal defenders something to think about, and give Christian Benteke some help.
I wonder as well, without Bacuna getting down that right, does so well attacking. Hutton now on a booking, you might want to put him on as well.
You've got to go for it. He's got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
At some point.
they're absolutely still in the game. But Arsenal, the pace of their passing and their movement has been too much for Aston Villa in that first half.
When they play well, it often is for anybody. All season, we've been celebrating 50 years of Match of the Day and reliving Goal of the Season. Now, we want to find the greatest of them all. Our panel of experts, that's what they call themselves, have whittled it down, the list down to just 5, one from each decade. Pick your favourite.
Radford. Now Tudor's gone down for Newcastle. Radford again. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Ronnie Radford. Well, just when one thought that the non-leaguers might be broken by McDonald's goal, a tremendous reply from Radford. Reed. Stevens. Looking for Sharp, and he got behind Lawrence, and there did Sharp! What a fantastic goal! An unbelievable finish from Graham Sharp. I haven't seen a goal quite like that in a Merseyside derby for years. Absolutely marvellous to see him get behind the defender and then take it first time on the volley. One of the goals of the season from the Everton number 9. Been picked up by Ryan Giggs. York has made a diagonal run, the support in the centre as well, but this is still Ryan Giggs who's past Keown, past Dixon, and has scored a sensational goal! What a moment for Ryan Giggs! Unbridled celebrations around much of Villa Park. It is one of the truly great FA Cup goals. A deep cross towards Di Canio. Oh, what a shot! He was in mid-air when he hit that, Paolo Di Canio. Sullivan, no chance at all. Scholes can keep United moving here, finds Nani. Nani's cross. Rooney! Oh, that is absolutely fantastic! That is very, very special, and that is Wayne Rooney. Unstoppable. That is absolute poetry.
Great stuff. You can vote via the BBC Sport website or by tweeting the hashtag of the goal you like best. For example, hashtag goal1 to @BBCMOTD. Voting closes at full time and we'll announce the winner at the end of the show. The choice is yours, but quickly, the three of you, your personal favourite. Alan first.
Oh, it has to be Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
That goal that he scored, and particularly just to see Martin on his backside.
He's out of
just
order.
a fantastic finish.
Happy memories.
I've got to go Ryan Giggs. Just
You're out
to
of order.
see Martin on his backside.
Look at the movement there.
Stand up, Martin.
It's cold. I think it's Dwight York's
There he
movement.
goes. It's those red boots. The red boots didn't do any favours.
in that, dear
I'm only
Martin.
synonymous with playing. Everything I do is against Manchester United. But
I presume you won't pick that goal.
certainly won't be picking. I'm picking Di Canio's goal. What a fantastic volley. Far better goal.
Head of Rooney's.
Just about headed.
Rooney go. It was the run of Cole.
Great movement from Cole.
It was the run of Cole.
Stand up, Martin.
You're out of order.
Well, it's a big night on BBC One's. Liverpool's semi-final defeat was no laughing matter, but John Bishop's just about over it now.
This is one of the most exciting nights of my life. It's only Paul Weller. Please welcome to the stage the fabulous Trevor Noah.
Are you a comedian? You don't look funny.
Is that flirting? I can never tell.
The John Bishop Show starts tonight at 9:45 on BBC One.
Teams will be back out in around 3 or 4 minutes' time. Let's get the thoughts of Philip Neville. He's with Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. It's an education watching that first half with Phil Neville, because you were furious at Aston Villa. Just explain why.
Well, I think we spoke before the game about Aston Villa's strengths under Tim Sherwood, and that's been playing a direct style, playing the ball up to Benteke. Al spoke before the game about Delph getting forward, cleverly running beyond Grealish and Zogbia. And I think we looked up at the clock. It was 31 minutes before they played the first pass forward. In behind, it's been too safe. I think they froze, to be fair, and they've just allowed Arsenal to gain control of the game, when in the first 20 minutes they should have took the game to Arsenal and played more direct.
Do you have to make changes then at half-time if you're Tim Sherwood?
Well, I look at the wide players for Aston Villa, Grealish and N'Zogbia, and N'Zogbia for me was at fault for the goal. He didn't stay with Walcott's runner. Grealish has been anonymous and really poor so far, so you look at Sinclair and Agbonlahor, they could provide more of a threat, I think.
But they are taking on an Arsenal side who've really hit their stride in that first half. You've got Ozil playing well, Sanchez playing well, and particularly you're a huge admirer, as most people are today, of Cazorla as well.
I think Cazorla from the first minute has controlled the whole football game. He's threaded passes through, he's took the ball off the back four, and he's been like the Alonso, the Xavi, the Scholes. He's controlled the whole tempo of the game. He has been fantastic. So have Arsenal, to be fair. And Walcott moving out to that left wing, that was a stroke of genius as well.
But if you're looking for an Aston Villa positive, as the guys have said in the studio, every time that ball goes in, it's clear that Chesney wants to come off his line. Perhaps they can cause issues there.
I think they can cause problems. Chesney is suspect on the big occasion, so they've got to keep getting the ball forward and at least give Benteke some service.
OK, the players coming back out for the second half here. And just a reminder, today is all about the FA Cup final. Maybe Aston Villa have come out a little bit earlier, have been forced out by Tim Sherwood, but it's a big few weeks on the BBC.
Wherever you are, they know you're there. This summer on BBC Sport.
During half-time, the winners of the FA People's Cup have been awarded their prizes by Gabby. More than 30,000 people took part in the tournament, which was open to all ages and abilities, with the finals taking place in Manchester last Monday. See bbc.co.uk/get-inspired for more information, images and results on that. Well played, Gabby. And well, second half's approaching. TTs, we can see them out on the pitch. So we should probably hand down to our commentators very shortly. It doesn't look like, mind you, we're about 300 miles away up here, but it doesn't look like we can see any changes. So let's go back and rejoin Danny Murphy and Guy Mowbray.
Thanks, Gary. No, you're right. No changes made by either boss during the break. Don't think we're surprised at all by that from Arsene Wenger's point of view. Well, my friend and colleague Mr Murphy made a good spot during the half-time break. Villa's substitutes out warming up, all bar Gabby Agbonlahor, who may well have been needed in the dressing room to hear some instructions, and he is actually warming up right from the start of the second half. And it's going to be Arsenal who get the second half underway and who will want to fly into action as they did throughout the first 45 minutes. I don't suppose, Danny, that Arsene Wenger needs to change much at all right now.
No, he doesn't. From Villa's perspective, it's actually Sinclair and Agbonlahor over there, both warming up straight away, which signals to me that he's thinking of getting those two on. And you're right, maybe there was a debriefing going on in the dressing room about tactics.
And N'Zogbia. It's Benteke who let it run. Grealish possibly not quite expecting that to happen. Hutton very steadily back to Shay Given. Monreal commanding. Bellerin. Talked a lot about Grealish. Bellerin is Arsenal's young gunner. Only 20, the fullback. Tom Cleverley. Where to next? Benteke caused a problem for himself. Ozil. Ozil bought himself a yard away from Hutton. Lovely touch again from Santi Cazorla, who thought about winding one up. Here's Ramsey. Ramsey sneakily trying to catch out Given, deflected as he hit it, all the sting taken out.
What Cazorla possesses is this fantastic awareness of where people are, always one step ahead, so very, very rarely gets caught in possession and always turns into space. Very rare gift.
Now that he's 30, there is talk of Arsenal having to replace him soon. There's been plenty of talk about him wanting to return to Spain to maybe join Atletico Madrid. But it would take some replacing, with only Yaya Toure and Cesc Fabregas having completed more passes in the Premier League this season. He rarely gives the ball away.
They need to hang on to him for sure. It is noticeable as well for Arsenal that Theo's now back in the middle, Sanchez back on the left. Maybe they think the job's done on the left, got his goal and gone back to normal, but certainly lots of tactical issues going on.
Here's Grealish. Something promising for Villa maybe. Delph's ball in is stopped. Westwood. And the flag up from the earlier passage of play. It will be an Arsenal free kick. Well, we know that at some stage Aston Villa will go into throw the kitchen sink territory, because Tim Sherwood is not a boss that will send a team out to leave the field wondering.
No, and nor should he. And I think Phil Neville made a good point at half-time regarding the safety of their passing. It has been a little bit safe at times, and that's meant that they've been caught in possession a few times in the middle third because they're not playing forward quickly enough, and that will change, because as the minutes tick by, they'll realise they're going to lose the FA Cup, but plenty of time yet.
Not looking massively dynamic, the Villa boss, at the moment. Here go his team, though, with Alan Hutton. And Delph was caught in two minds. Help it on or go for goal. Bellerin's been caught out by Grealish. Grealish does really well to keep the ball for that long. Delph. Now Villa lose it. Great work by Ramsey. Here's Alexis Sanchez. Coquelin, calming it all down. A player who admitted that back home in France he didn't even watch Arsenal's cup final win against Hull City last season. He just completed a loan stint at Freiburg in Germany. Sanchez! Oh, Sanchez has scored an absolute beauty! That was unstoppable, and so it seems are Arsenal. And that sums up the season he's had.
Couldn't have put better myself, Guy. If there's ever a man in the Arsenal team who deserves credit for his consistency and his wonderful performances this season, the movement on that ball. I mean, Shay Given's got absolutely no chance. Superb strike. We've seen him score some wonderful goals this season, but I'm not sure any better than that.
It swerved, it flew, and it's given Arsenal a 2-goal lead in the FA Cup final. There's something about Wembley that the brilliant Chilean likes. On the ball again. Through towards Walcott, who's been beaten by Vlaar. Sanchez again. Ozil. Ramsey. Aston Villa in danger of letting themselves be toyed with by the Gunners now.
Yeah, they've got to stay calm here while they're defending. Keep a good shape, stay in the game. Looks
Sanchez
like,
down.
Yeah, off the ball.
Westwood pleads innocence. But Westwood is guilty.
He is guilty.
Yellow card for Ashley Westwood. 4 Villa names in the book now. 2 Arsenal goals in there now.
We have to say Arsenal's big names have all turned up today. Mesut Ozil, Cazorla, and that man Alexis Sanchez.
Villa change, we knew it was coming. The second goal has possibly hastened it. Charles Enzopia goes out, and on comes Aston Villa through and through, Gabi Agbonlahor. Well, Arsenal did it themselves last season. They came back from 2-0 down to win the cup. All is not lost yet. But it's in danger of being lost pretty soon. It's Santi Cazorla. Cleared by Westwood up towards Agbonlahor. Grealish not strong enough against Coquelin. Ozil. Lovely ball for Sanchez from Cazorla. Sanchez claims a corner, courtesy of Hutton.
He took too long. What a move again. Grealish looks tired. He was shrugged off it too easily there. Put Arsenal on the attack. More cleverness from that man Sanchez again. Just delayed the cross a little bit long. Too long.
I suspect another Gunners goal will finally get Arsene Wenger grinning. Agbonlahor can't get there, but he has forced Monreal to put it out of play.
There's one thing for sure. He's smiling inside because his team have played very, very well. And the big name players, and some have been criticised heavily at times this season, have all showed their experience and their skill, and this is the goal. I mean, that ball has moved left to right. He couldn't have struck that ball any better. His best goal this season.
To the present, with Villa swinging one in, and Szczesny had it taken away from him by Mertesacker. Benteke, that's Westwood, and that will be Szczesny's easily. You might have just seen the fact on the bottom of your screen. Alexis Sanchez, the second player from Chile to score in a cup final. George Robledo, Yorkshire raised but Chile born, won the cup with Newcastle in 1951 and 1952 when he scored, and his brother Ted played. But this magic man from Chile really does have a liking for Wembley. 2 here and a win for his country in November 2013. 2 here in the semi-final against Reading. 2 to just change the mood of that young chap. Well, one, I beg your pardon, but it was worth 2. It was so good.
It's been his all-round, his whole performances, all-round game this season has been brilliant, week in, week out.
There's Santi Cazorla, played in towards Walcott, who's offside. It's a brilliant save, and that won't count because the flag is up. Up against Walcott with the first run. He's asking how much was he off by.
Got to dig in here, Aston Villa. Backs against the wall. It's a ball in from Ramsey.
That's the right call.
Just, maybe just. Some save that was from Shay Given.
Aston Villa
hanging in there.
Serious danger of being swamped here. Grealish to Delph. Here's Richardson. Lovely ball in. Benteke didn't get there, and it was cleared away from Cleverley. Here's Hutton. Benteke waiting, allowed Mertesacker to comfortably head clear. Sanchez. Maybe that wasn't called for. Hutton. Won by Coquelin. Koscielny. Santi Cazorla. Up towards Ramsey. Ramsey beat Okora. Hutton's block. Sanchez. Ramsey. It's Santi Cazorla. Bellerin. Cazorla once more. Parried by Given. Hanging on by their fingernails, Aston Villa.
He even finds time in the box. Such a clever football. Another good move from Arsenal.
Cleverly. It's open now. Benteke loses out to Mertesacker, who's making dealing with the big Belgian look effortless.
Well, at least that's 3 balls into the box in the last 5 minutes. Better from Villa. They've got to take a risk now. They are going to get caught on the break. But they've got to commit some men forward in wide positions to get the crosses in for Benteke.
Positive from Richardson. Arsenal away once more with Ozil. Through to Sanchez. Delph got back to help out Hutton. It's an Arsenal throw.
What you can't quite see sometimes on the television is Alexis Sanchez running off the ball. Even when the ball's building up, this is the chance for Cazorla. Simple save for Shay Given. That would have been game over. But yeah, Sanchez is running off the ball, his energy and his enthusiasm.
Well, this was the appeal that came from Arsenal's fans for handball down the other end of the ground. Did hit Alan Hutton's arm, but I think hit was the key part of it.
Well, also his arm's in a, what do they say, orthodox position, so...
It's not handball is what we're saying.
It's not handball.
Monreal. I might say it's a little bit early for victory songs, but not the way the game is developing. Great work again, although Sanchez can't quite keep that one in. The last 8 FA Cup finals have been decided by a single goal. 2 before that went to penalties in Cardiff. Unless Aston Villa can score the next, well, this could be decided by a distance. Richardson. Agbonlahor shrugged off the challenge. Delph and Benteke wait. Here's Westwood. Cleverly. Delph. Hector Bellerin is the Arsenal player who was bumped off the ball by Agbonlahor and is still on his knees.
Yeah, they ran into each other when Agbonlahor was making the run.
Westwood to Delph. Over towards Benteke. Not close enough to Grealish. Coolly done by Mertesacker. And Coquelin finds Ozil, who will look to find Walcott. Okore is left struggling, but recovered.
Did recover. Recovered well, followed the run well. That's the chance they've got to take now, Aston Villa. Another superb pass from Mesut Ozil.
Look how far Santi Cazorla is allowed to advance here. At his leisure. Ozil. Sanchez. Bellerin. Despairing stuff from Richardson. And it bounces behind, off the Villa full-back for a corner. A word from Villa owner to Villa supporter. At least managing to raise a smile between them. Not a flicker of one on Tim Sherwood's face.
No, there won't be.
Or theirs.
Well, he'll be disappointed because they haven't played to the potential we know they have. We saw their performance level in the semi-final against Liverpool and they haven't reached that today. They've carried 3 or 4 players.
In from Santi Cazorla, it's Mertesacker! The most simple of goals for the giant German to score. All over now for Tim Sherwood's Villa. Surely no way back from this. The easiest goal of the lot. It's an Arsenal super show.
Well, we saw in the first half some problems from set plays. And they've been punished with one there, which could be the goal that wins the cup in the end. Kills the game. It's Benteke with him again. He struggled, Benteke, defensively from corners all afternoon. Gets too far in front. Simple header. Actually, it might even come off his left shoulder. I think it does come off his left shoulder. He won't care, and nor will Arsene Wenger.
It was not the cleanest of connections, but Per Mertesacker does not care one bit. Unlike that poor Aston Villa fan. That's at the other end of the field. Wojciech Szczesny saluting the cheering Arsenal fans. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 0. Mertesacker has a liking for this competition. 3 goals in his last 77 games for the Gunners, all of them in the FA Cup. Can Villa restore any sort of hope? Delphin. Vlaar came to get it. Szczesny has got it. Okore. Delph. Grealish. Benteke trying to hold his run. Grealish again. There's an avalanche of Arsenal noise coming down from the end that Villa are trying to attack. Szczesny stays at home this time. Cleverly out to Hutton. Bellerin gets the better of Grealish. Towards Ozil. Okore had the time. Grealish. Now Hutton. Fabian Delph.
This is where these Aston Villa fans are trying their best to somehow get behind the players, and the players have to somehow find the energy, desire to keep trying to get forward and get back in this game.
Here's Hutton. Cleverly. Delph. Cleverly. Grealish into the feet of Agbonlahor, quickly swept out to Hutton. Cleverly, it was awkward and he made it look that way. Plenty of time for Wojciech Szczesny. Well, the possession's dipped, but look at those two bottom figures, Danny. 14-1. 8-0.
Well, we look at stats a lot, don't we? And we know the most important ones is the goals, but you've got to have shots on target to score goals.
Grealish.
Villa
Agbonlahor. Here's Hutton. Delph. Neatly done, but well cut out. Coquelin was there. what a difference he's made to the second half of Arsenal's season.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant from the minute he got into the team.
Ramsey over to Ozil. Ozil's progress is held up by Okore. He's past him now, though. And then he's undone all his good work. Well, we've seen an absolutely cracking goal here today from Alexis Sanchez. And a reminder that you still have a chance to vote for Match of the Day's best ever goal. Visit the BBC Sport website to vote or tweet #goal, followed by the number of your choice to @BBCMOTD, and the vote closes at full time. Kieran Richardson's Cup finals come to a close. Off he goes to be replaced by Leandro Bacuna, player who made his Villa debut at Arsenal in a 3-1 win at the start of the season before the one that's just ended.
Don't think that's tactical. I think I saw him word the word calf as he went off. I think he's hurt his calf or pulled his calf.
Kieran Richardson's been struggling with a calf problem since February, so that is no great surprise. Hutton's gone over to left back. Bacuna will operate down the right. Hutton's first run down the left is stopped.
The thing is what you were saying before about Coquelin, we've actually hardly mentioned his name today.
And that's what he does.
I know. And after such a great impact since he's got in the team, I thought he'd be involved a lot today in that midfield battle, but he hasn't been tested.
On the ball now, the Frenchman. Ramsey to Coquelin. Sanchez. Here's Mertesacker. You can see the energy just sapping away from Villa players now. Ramsey's touch, and it was just a little too strong. It's going to be a Villa throw.
It's always hard in a game when you're 3-4 goals down, but you have to find some strength inside mentally to keep going, because you never know. Still over 20 minutes left, and one goal can change the tide. Very unlikely from what we're seeing right now, because Arsenal are so dominant and confident, but you have to somehow believe.
Walcott looked offside and has been judged to have been as well. We're going to have the third and final Aston Villa substitution now. Carlos Sanchez is going to come on, the Colombian. And it's Ashley Westwood who comes off, so it's pretty much a straight swap. A defensively minded midfielder for another. What does that indicate to us in the Villa mindset?
Not a great deal, I think. Maybe a bit tired legs, a bit more energy in the middle of the park so they don't get overrun, but they have to rely on Benteke and Abonglo to get them back into this match, and at the moment it's looking highly unlikely, Guy. Highly unlikely.
Bacuna's throw. Cleverly to Sanchez. Great challenge from Sanchez. That's his appetite for the game. A real street fighter.
I mean, that's a 3-0 up as well when everyone, you think the game's done.
Vlam. Delph. Bonlahan. Grealish, who's going to go the distance. Bacuna. Cleverly. Grealish. Only 2 in the box for Bacuna to aim for. Sanchez. Brilliant. Sanchez and the man he was up against there, the other Sanchez, Carlos, will both be heading to the Copa America after this game. No rest for them this summer.
Well, if one man on that pitch deserves a rest, it's Alexis Sanchez, because every time I see him, he doesn't stop. Just touching on Jack Grealish quickly, because this is a huge learning curve for him today. Sometimes there are games you learn more from than others, and today's definitely one of those, because it hasn't gone well for him. He looks a bit drained of energy, maybe the occasion got to him a little bit, but that's fine because he's a super talent.
Painful learning experience too, because as you know, although you experience the other side of the coin, you might not get to this final game.
Well, something tells me that young lad will have a very bright future, but yeah, you might be right. I mean, these games don't come down very often, and too many Villa players today haven't performed to the level they showed in the semi-final. But Arsenal have been superb. Technically, tactically, played with speed, with skill, with vision. All their big players have turned up.
Chesney's getting himself a piece of the action. Coquelin and Arsenal getting the Olays, which immediately causes them to go off beam a little. Stan Kroenke, Arsenal's majority shareholder, silent Stan they call him, not given to uttering many words. I'll be very happy with that man today, Arsene Wenger, who is heading towards a record, a joint record, 6th FA Cup triumph. The record that is held actually by Aston Villa's own George Ramsey, secretary of the club for 42 years from 1884. That's a reign. Grealish to Bacuna. Both clubs under United States ownership, and at the moment Missouri's getting the better of Brooklyn, New York. Hooked away by Mertesacker. Wins the ball. Ozil was trying to drag him away from it. Carlos Sanchez. Bacuna. Demanded the ball from Bacuna. Delph. Benteke. Delph has lost it. Away goes Ramsey. Ramsey through towards Theo Walcott, who has beaten the flag this time, but he's also missed the target. And I think that will be his last kick of the day.
Well, playing with the confidence, you expected that, to find the back of the net, but maybe he's got tired legs. He's not started many games since his comeback, didn't get the bend on it, but he'll be pleased with his afternoon. Started the game, scored in a cup final.
Player who missed almost all of 2014 because of the FA Cup, sustained a cruciate ligament injury in the North London derby with Spurs in the 3rd round of last season's competition. There he is in the final of this season's, giving Arsenal the lead, a lead that they've only added to, and they have sailed away with it ever since. Olivier Giroud has come on, and There's a very tired-looking Mesut Ozil making his way off too to give Jack Wilshere a run.
I thought Mesut Ozil was superb today, one of his best performances this season in an Arsenal shirt for me. Some good touches, clever passing, kept popping up in those positions we're so used to seeing him. A really classy performance from him.
Mentioned Walcott's injuries, of course Jack Wilshere's are well documented. In and out of the treatment room this season. This is actually his first appearance in this year's FA Cup competition. Sanchez. Bellerin. Santi Cazorla. Ramsey twisting and turning and trying to get the ball across, headed away by Carlos Sanchez. Here's Santi Cazorla. Ramsey, Wilshere's made himself available. Looks immediately to have come on to add even extra spark to Arsenal's play. Sanchez through to Monreal. It's an important nick at the ball from Okora.
It's always nice to come into a game when you're 3-0 up and everybody's confident.
Koscielny. Some lovely words from Arsene Wenger about his French centre-back this week, saying he's all the more pleased when he signs a player who people doubt and maybe haven't heard of, but he proves over time that he is Arsenal quality.
I think he's a very good player, and they always look a better side and a better unit when he's there.
Never in doubt that Alexis Sanchez would be. Monreal, another who has improved throughout his time in North London, taken over from Kieran Gibbs in the left-back slot in the second half of the season particularly.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's improved no end and seems a bit more solid. Doesn't go as forward as much as Gibbs, but has made that position his own, and it looks like Arsene Wenger trusts him completely there now, whereas earlier in the season we couldn't say that.
Something for Villa maybe here. It's Agbonlahor, and Coquelin, as he brought him down. The referee doesn't think so. Nothing doing for Gabby Agbonlahor.
That looked a penalty. Using his pace.
Free kick.
I think it's just outside the box. Oh yeah, he's caught him. Right foot onto left foot. If it's not a penalty, it's a free kick. He's got that one wrong.
And in fairness to Mr. Moss, he hasn't got a lot wrong.
No. But if there was any chance...
Had the score been 1-0 Arsenal at this stage, goodness me, that would have been a contentious moment.
But even now, with 10 minutes to go, you know, 3-1, momentum, you get that bit more energy. Arsenal drop off a little bit more. He's not happy, Mr. Sherwood.
Bellerin. Delph finds Carlos Sanchez. Cleverly. Bonlahor's going. Helping it into Benteke. He's caught by Bellerin. Arsenal's throw, won by Ramsey. Always brave purchases, those hats, but they don't look so silly when your team is winning.
We'll agree to disagree. Did you wear one when you came here to watch your York City?
Only wear those on Sundays. Monreal. Kunis foul. you've been in this situation, Danny, not in an FA Cup final on the losing team like this, but how hard is it to keep the legs going and to, as Gabby Agbonlahor is just proving here, just try and keep your frustration in check, and he can't manage it. He still feels he should have had something at the other end.
Well, it's very difficult, but you have a duty to your club, your teammates and the supporters who've come today to keep fighting. And they have, to be fair, they have tried. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say you were beaten by better quality, and apart from the corner, which is disappointing at any level to concede from a set play, Arsenal's quality has been too much for them to handle.
3 times they have seen their team take on Arsenal this season. 0-3, 0-5, 0-3 and counting. Giroud keeps it in and takes on Vlaar and leaves him sprawling. It's a foul by Ron Vlaar. A free kick for Arsenal. Ron Vlaar with a problem. It's actually just a tangle of legs that caused Vlaar to struggle.
Yeah, it was a tangle. Just what you need in the last 10 minutes of an FA Cup final when you're 3-0 down, to pick up an injury. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Might be Ron Vlaar's Villa farewell. Contract up. Reports recently to suggest that he's going to sign a new one. Watch the space.
Well, he's made a difference for sure since he's been back in the side. He's an experienced player. It's going to be a big summer for Aston Villa in terms of their player recruitment.
At a time when the owner's quite openly trying to sell. Bellerin. Here's Monreal. Okore. Pushed and pulled by Alexis Sanchez. There is some sarcastic applause from Villa fans at getting a decision their team's way. I think that's a little harsh on the man in the middle.
Well, when you're a disgruntled, disappointed, emotional fan, that happens, doesn't it? But it's been disappointing for the Aston Villa fans who've been brilliant all afternoon. They haven't at least had a goal to celebrate. I always feel some sympathy with supporters when they don't have at least one moment to enjoy, shout.
What it has done is got those Villa fans in full voice again. Brilliant support. Cleverly. Delph. Agbonlahor. Grealish waiting wide. Bellerin stuck with him. The ball stayed in, and Grealish feels he should have had a penalty. Cries from the other end of the field, and again the claims are instantly dismissed.
I have to say, I think that looked a penalty.
Seemed to have arms around his neck. Here come Aston Villa with Leandro Bacuna. Grealish. The shot is blocked. The shot had some power. Straight against Koscielny, who had all the wind taken from his sails. Now Arsenal breaking with Giroud. Not on the same wavelength though. Alexis Sanchez was wanting the return played more perfectly than it was. 4 minutes of the 90 to go. Arsenal 3 goals to the good. Benteke. Cleverly lets it run for Agbonlahor. Bacuna. Mertesacker Rose. What a year he's had. Last July, a World Cup winner with Germany. Another FA Cup to add to last year's win. As his critics, does the
he does
the great big German, but he's got some medal collection.
Yeah, and he's got great leadership qualities. He's calm. And this young man thinks he should have had a penalty. Sneaks in behind Bellerin there. He's got his arm on his right shoulder.
He's pulled away from the ball. Surely a foul.
It's a penalty. I think it's a definite penalty.
Villa feel they should have had at least the free kick on the very edge when Agbonlahor was brought down, and then that on Grealish. Their side's been outplayed, we can't dispute that, but they will go away with a little sense of injustice too.
Yes, indeed.
They haven't had something to cheer. Bakuna, where's he going? Wouldn't be the way to concede a fourth goal. Carlos Sanchez. Delph. Delph. Sanchez. Grealish. Threatened to waltz through the lot of them then. Mertesacker not properly. And Agbonlahor is guilty of just following in with the challenge. It's a free kick for Arsenal, and there will be an Arsenal substitution too. And it's going to be Alexis Sanchez who goes off. He did light up Wembley today with that second goal.
Well, he did, and he deserves the standing ovation he's getting from. Been their best player this season, and again turned up on a big occasion. This is him, full strike past Shay Given. Caps off a memorable performance.
And on in his place is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, only just back from a hamstring, at least a couple of minutes at Wembley to end his season. Carlos Sanchez. Alan Hutton away. Wilshere. Ramsey got his head down, but never looked likely to get there. How to play it goes. We're into injury time for the cup final man of the match.
Well, there's been some good performances, brilliant performances, but Santi Cazorla has been an absolute pleasure to watch. Ran the game from minute one, dictated the tempo to play for us, different types of passing, clever flicks and tricks. He's just been an absolute joy. Best player.
There's Coquelin. In case you missed it, the board said 3 minutes. We've already played nearly a whole one of those. For Aston Villa now, in truth, there hasn't been for quite some time. Arsenal have brought their A game to Wembley today. Nacho Monreal. On the trophy. Same name as last year. Arsenal's name on that trophy more than any other team's. Incidentally, the base of that FA Cup trophy, where all those names are engraved, all the work and intricacy that goes into that, worth a reported £4 million. The top half, just £1.5 million. Just this bit of kit.
Amazing. Great history. Had the pleasure of holding it aloft. And these Arsenal players are going to enjoy that moment once again. Very soon.
And they've broken a yellow jinx. They've lost their last 4 finals wearing yellow. 1918 Valencia, Ham here. 2000 Galatasaray, 2006 in the Champions League final Barcelona, but now I'm all over again. Alan Sunderland and all that. Three again.
Well, you'd remember that, wouldn't you?
Here's Wilshere. Cross towards Giroud, and Giroud has tapped in a fourth. The final flourish from the Gunners. That's enough for many a Villa fan to turn tail and leave for Wembley Park Tube Station. Arsenal have got 4 in the FA Cup final.
It's Aaron Ramsey. Side into the and he's level, yeah. Oxlade-Chamberlain puts the ball across. Easy chance for Olivier Giroud. Waiting for that final whistle, which is understandable.
A smile of sorts. And now it will break into full-blown joy for Arsene Wenger. He wins a record-equalling 6th FA Cup. A Frenchman who fell in love with the world's old and who has seen his side play at the very top of their game today. But there's the other side of the coin. The Tim Sherwood and the... well, they just didn't bring it, Danny.
No, they didn't, I'm afraid. They tried, dead on the feet out on that pitch, but the quality that Arsenal possess, all their big players turned up, and in the end their superior football drained Aston Villa's energy. And from Sanchez, the game was finished. But they deserve great credit because they managed to stay in the cup final. And 3 months ago they didn't look like they were going to do that.
The FA Cup. The Duke of Cambridge, His Royal Highness Prince William, manages to raise a smile even though his Villa boys have been beaten. Randy Lerner, the Villa owner too. Even they, in some way, must have enjoyed the football they've seen from the likes of Alexis Sanchez, from Santi Cazorla, the Arsenal owner, and Sir Chips Keswick next to him. Absolutely delighted with what they've seen from their one of their key players. Gabby Logan is with Theo Walcott.
Congratulations, Arsene Wenger said before the match it was one of the hardest decisions he had to make, but he put his faith in you. You vindicated that. How sweet was that victory?
Oh no, it's amazing. The manner we did it today was great. We played great football, kept the clean sheet. We always knew we kept the clean sheet.